Okay, this is one of my favorite tools. I have a bunch of tools like this where they got all rusty over time. And I'm going to use this distilled white vinegar and soak it for a day in this cup. And it's supposed to be able to remove the rust off the tool. And you just brush it afterwards and it's supposedly clean it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go up to the rubber point and then stop. There you go. So we'll just let that sit for a little while, maybe a day, and then we'll come back and look at the results. Alright, I also have this really rusty saw. This is my original saw. I was probably like 8 years old when I got it, and it's very rusty. I use it still because it's small. They don't, they don't make things like this anymore. And I also have a spatula that has some rust on it. So I'm going to put both of those in the same cup. I figured why not, and we'll see what happens over time, about a day. Alright, it's been about 8 hours, 10 hours. Let's see what this thing looks like. If you can see it. I'll rub it with this a little bit. Definitely took some of it off. I'm also going to try to mix it in a little bit. That's one item. Let's see. How about this guy? It has crud on it. Like I don't know if you could see this. There's definitely some crud on there. It's like black. Yeah. It seems to, you could just touch it and the material comes off. You can see that. It's not that easy to pick up on the camera, but the rust is coming off very easily. It's leaving almost like a black metal under it. And the toothbrush is basically just taking the flakes off very easily. So for that, let's see, how about the pliers? Yeah, the orange rust is actually coming off pretty well on the pliers, you can tell. And I got one of these old toothbrushes with the motors, just because it's easier. And the rust appears to be coming off pretty well. And got this thing. And that crud's coming off like crazy on this guy. Spatula. What we're going to wind up doing is we'll rinse it with some water and see what the final result is. And this guy is going to be his saw. I only did like the tip, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one, where the part that I didn't touch yet looks like. So we'll put it in, we'll wipe it in some water and see what happens next. Okay, I got my water here ready to go in my bucket. Let's put this guy in first. He's the easiest. As soon as I put it in there, the black stuff started leaving the tool. Well, it definitely got rid of all the rust. There's some other material on there, like plaster or some kind that isn't coming off. That would probably have to be cleaned more. Let's use this saw. This is the one that I was wondering about the most. Oh boy, you can see a big difference in this saw. The part that I actually put into the material, you can actually see the line. I don't know if you can see that. It's very hard to record. Certain angles get it, I guess. Let's see if we can go back farther. I don't know if you can see that, but there's definitely a difference between the part that was dipped in the vinegar and the part that was not. Yeah, dip it in again. There you go again. See, you can see the gray kind of color on top, and it's rusty still on the bottom. I'm gonna clean this totally. It's just that I wanted to have something that showed the comparison between the not using the vinegar and using it. So we'll clean that up. And one thing you usually have is a lot of pliers that have rust. They're easy to rust. This one looks like it cleaned up okay. It probably could use a buffing too, with like a Brillo pad or some kind, but it's almost all gray now. I don't see any rust. I guess I would have to move this handle a little to get to some of it that's still loose. There's still a little bit there, but not much. Much better though. And then these were really rusty. I remember leaving these out. It seems that the material turned back to black, which I know these were probably originally more black than anything. These are really old. Even the spring, the rust removed, so just got to wipe it off. I think vinegar does do the job. You can remove rust with vinegar. All the items look much better now. I'll probably clean up that saw blade and dry these off a little bit more, and then that should be it. So give vinegar a try when you need to remove rust off your tools. Okay, and then finally you have your items that you just cleaned and got rid of most of the rust. What you should do is spray it with some kind of like WD-40 material, or in my case I have this BPL stuff, which is just as good, I guess. And that gives it a little coating so it doesn't rust as quickly again. And you just give it a little bit of spray. And then towel dry it if it's too wet. but that will keep it from getting as rusty if it's just laid out in the, if you're working in the rain or whatever, or if you leave it out, it'll have some kind of coating now to protect it. So all the items came out really well. I'm going to work on the blade a little bit more because I didn't do the other side, but this is a legitimate way to clean your tools. They came out really well. And that black color basically faded to silver after a while. So that, don't worry about the black color.